So we have two hip bones, a right and a left hip bones, also called ox coxae or innominate bones, or just pelvic bones or hip bones more commonly. And each pelvic bone or hip bone is composed of three parts. We have the ilium is the big one, the big part up top, and then the ischium is the part kind of toward the back. Ischium is right here. This is the ischium. And then the pubis is this other part of the bone up here on the anterior side. We have two rami. So ramus is just like an arm or a bony projection. So we have the ascending ramus is this kind of arm of bone right here, and the descending ramus is this one right here. So this one is made up of both parts of the pubis and part of the ischium. And this one is mostly just the pubis and then maybe some of the ilium. And then the acetabulum is this hole right here. That's the hip socket. So this is where the head of the femur sits in and forms the actual hip joint. So we talk about kind of the hip bones and moving the hip, but technically the hip is actually a joint, and it's the joint between the acetabulum of the pelvic bones, and that's where the head of the femur sits in that socket. So that is the hip joint where those two articulate. And the acetabulum is formed partially by the ilium, partially by the ischium, and partially by the pubis. So it's got some teamwork from all three bones. And then the ischial tuberosity is this lump of kind of bone back here, this lumpy section. It's kind of, we've seen some other tuberosities in the past that are basically just lumps of bone that usually serve as attachment points for muscle. And this is the ischial tuberosity. And these are what we also call our sit bones.